And we're back. Okay. So sorry we went over. I hope you don't mind. I try to keep these things to an hour, but you know, there's so much stuff to talk about, and when you really get into the learning side of things, I mean, you know, as you could guess, I can talk for days. Don't get me started on codecs, you know, right? Watch out. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Nunokin, thank you so much. Sweet Pea Cinema, Vivini, cool mug. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is like my, I call this is like my, Game of Thrones mug. I don't know. It's very big. It's almost the size of my head. And it holds an enormous amount of coffee. And it feels like something that you would have, you know, bring me my... It is coffee, though. You can't really see. There it is. Yeah. Okay. B Barn 3S. When does Mousqueton come on? You missed them by about an hour and a half, my friend. But you can watch them on the VOD. Where would you even find that? I have no idea. It was given to me as a holiday present a couple years ago. Thank you, Sweet Pea. Sticking around until you actually have to go back to edit. Nice. Kappa, right. Alfoot, yes. Oh, thank you very much. Ian Livesey, all good stuff. Great to hear, great to hear. Okay. And, you know, as has been pointed out, and thank you so much again for joining me. It is 10:19. My name is Beetlejace. Pleasure to be here with you. Oh, and I need to... Hold on, I need to fix my UI a little bit here. Kind of cutting myself off there. If you're not already following me on my channel here on Twitch, please follow Beetlejace on twitch.tv/Beetlejace for more audio, more video, motion graphics, imagery. Monday or Tuesday I was streaming using a really old version of our software on a PC and kind of doing some really cool old school things that we don't have anymore. So showcasing some of that. Anyway, okay, so I want to get started here and talk to you about Adobe Stock and about becoming a stock contributor. Now, and actually that sounds boring, so let me rephrase that. I'm going to go through, I've been shooting and putting together a little documentary about creative transformations, and actually in this series of sequences that I have here, featuring a whole series of different women around the world, so who are Adobe users, whether they're in design or video or motion graphics or what have you, and who've all transformed from some other creative discipline, whether it was coding into video or you know, rock and roll singer into graphic designer, or you know, illustrator into photographer, you name it. People who've made that kind of creative transformation. And along the way, I shot a whole bunch of really cool B-roll. You're taking a look at some of it here. This one interview, which I don't know if the Tinty is with us today. But, hey, Sukalicious. Thank you, Switchcore. If the Tinty's with us today. But this was part of her interview, and we actually filmed it in this really super cool warehouse. I'll play some of this back for you here. Actually, I should play this at full quality. And it was not a warehouse. It was a garage, a machinist's garage where they fix motorcycles, and you know, they've got all these old drilling machines and metal creation things, and so there's this like metal and shavings and very dangerous stuff all over that just looks so cool. So as I was kind of going back and re-editing some of that, and you can see I'm doing just like a lot of focus, really tight focus pulls. This was all shot with the Nikon 85mm f. It's a f1.4. It's the 85mm f1.4. Yeah. So super shallow depth of field. And look at this old stuff. It's so cool, you know. And it's old and it's like heavy, has a incredible weight. Just so fun and just very fun to photograph. You know, like what is that? It's like the kill switch, you know. Why does somebody want that? I don't know. They might. Also makes for good photography. So I was going through this stuff and I thought, well, you know, some of these are kind of shaky and some of them are short, but some of them are pretty cool. Why not maybe, I don't know, someone maybe needs some inserts, some B-roll of various metal workings. You know, I don't even know what that is. That's some kind of metal thing right there. Look at all these metal shavings, you know, ooh, with some very nice bokeh going on behind. Ooh, look at that. Very beautiful. Okay. You can tell this is 85 millimeter. How come? And then I'm pretty much at 1.4, f-stop 1.4. Why is that? Right? Because this is being represented as, you know, almost as a complete circle, right? Different focal lengths, different primes will give you more of like a hexagon type bokeh, or, you know, what's after hexagon? Penta, sext, octagon. Octagon is kind of 85 millimeter, sort of octagonal. You get the idea. No, I didn't spend a lot of time around drills and lathes growing up. I did not, although I did take metal shop and wood shop. I was fascinated by them. But being the piano player that I am, I was always kind of freaked to have my hands anywhere near something that's cutting. So, so much for my manliness. But, you know, I was just freaking fascinated by this. And like I said, I didn't even know, and there's such beautiful shots here. I didn't even know what half the stuff was. It was just pretty. So I thought it might be fun to go through and start, you know, finding sections. I mean, some of this right here is actually pretty cool, but it could probably benefit from a little bit of stabilization. And finding sections that maybe I upload and contribute to Adobe Stock. Or, if nothing else, start building a little B-roll back library. I need to go through all this footage anyway to find cutaways and things for these interviews. So that's what I figured we would do, and we can kind of treat them and preserve them along the way. Now, if I just pull up my browser for a second here and go to Adobe Stock. So, you know, you've seen stock.adobe.com before. Let's go there right now. Okay. So, of course, we have over 50 million images, videos, now offering 4K, photos, vectors, illustrations, wonderful searchability. You know, if you've never seen what like video on here looks like, actually, let's see, metal drill. Metal drill. Are those metal drills? Yeah. Okay, so like here's examples of video that's already up there. All right, and if we hover scrub over these, kind of gives you an idea of what this stuff looks like. So here's some in 4K. That's a good question too. How much of this do we have in 4K, I wonder? We had 2,100 results in HD. We've got 21 results in 4K. Now my stuff is all 1080, and I'm going to be honest and not upscale it. So not much I can do. Doesn't look like we've got a lot of, oh, this is like, they're like metal weightlifting. So we've got like 3 clips here of actual metal. I don't know why a hamster showed up for metal drill 4K. I was just talking about how good the searchability is. Some of the metadata maybe needs some tweaking. But in any case, this is telling you this is an opportunity. That's what I'm getting at, all right? Is it free to take stuff off of Adobe Stock? So it is not free, and the pricing is different per image, per video, per vector, etc. You can, however, download previews of everything to test them out in your content and then license them directly inside the app once you know that it fits. So let's say that I'm cutting together this piece. I could maybe I actually like this clip. Maybe I use this clip in this interview. I could try grading and coloring my stuff to kind of match. Actually, it looks like it would fit really well. Even just looking at these shots right here, right? This stuff looks like it could be perfect. And that's flat. And then when I like it, I could choose to license it. And you can actually see all the attributes here. The actual bit rate, it's only 10 seconds. So again, duration shouldn't be something that frightens you. I mean, I just saw before there was something 8 seconds long. Here's 11. As long as it's good. Here, this is 8 seconds right here. Okay, as long as it's good, it doesn't matter. So, becoming a stock contributor. All right. How do we get there? stock.adobe.com/contributor. Okay. So I'm pulling this up just because I want to show you this first. Nightmares about mangled hands. Yes. Right. Octa. Yes. Okay. Looks like clips are anywhere from $80 to $200. Now, again, it depends on, the plan that you buy, and again, and I don't know all the pricing, that's not my bag, but you can find out there, and images are different. So, and this is constantly evolving too. Remember, we've only had Adobe Stock a little over a year. It's not even, technically, it's not even a year yet. It only came into the product last June, during the June CC 2015 launch. So, stock.adobe.com/contributor. I'm pointing this out to you because this is an opportunity. Create an account, set up your account, submit your content on Fatoli, and become part of the Adobe family. So, if you're not already a CC member, if you don't already have an account, create one. Reach millions, you get that, start selling. Monitor your account, request payment. Here's the thing. It costs you nothing to become a contributor. Simple as that. I shoot a ton of B-roll. For years, I only ever did landscapes. And actually, Terry White knows this. I was really a landscape photographer for the longest time, and videographer. I just like to shoot desert landscape, wherever I was, just landscapes, not people, just kind of things. And I've got all this B-roll sitting around that I've never done anything with. Now, granted, it is almost entirely 1080p, so it's HD. It's not 4K. Okay. People are still using a lot of HD content, and it's just sitting there doing nothing. Why not find the best clips, the best bits, the best pieces? I just showed you. They don't need, if you've got 8 seconds of something cool, like, this is pretty neat. Can't you see this in some documentaries? When I'm working on my bikes, I got these machines, I only use metal, man. Metal is nothing like metal. Metal on metal, the scraping, the sound, the dirt, the grit, the smell, the danger. That was like a 15-second clip right there. You might think to yourself, who the heck would buy that? Someone, okay? Someone. There's someone who's looking for something that you've shot. So, again, if you've got a lot of this stuff, start monetizing it. It's one more way for you to have an income stream. And as people have asked, because we've been getting a lot of questions about, can you really make money off Adobe Stock? It's a volume game like anything else. So if you've got 10 clips, unless these are 10 clips of something so unique that they don't exist anywhere else, 10 clips isn't going to make you a lot of money, right? 20 clips is not likely to make you a lot of money. But if you've got 100, if you've got 200, if you have 1,000, now you've got options. And as you just saw, especially where 4K is concerned, and for anybody who's in here, hamster, for anybody who's in here right now, think of the kind of content that you have. Like, let me put it this way here. I'll go back there for a second. Let's go back to the search. All right. So I was just talking about Egypt. Egypt pyramid 4K. Okay. There are 19 clips in 4K of the pyramids. All right. Now, a lot of these, as you might also find when you're starting to kind of scrub through them, like, this is time lapse, right? This isn't even video, I mean, it's video, but it's a time lapse. It wasn't like someone's got this camera roving, I don't know what that is. It's like a reenactment or something there. That's pretty cool right there. That's pretty awesome. So again, I don't know what that is. That's like an animation or something. This looks like one of my clips. That's a time lapse. So this looks like stabilized video. This actually looks like a shot of mine. This might be Terry's. Is this Terry White? No, okay. I was going to say, I have the exact same shot. And you can see that that's real video because you can see there's like people walking. So it was probably stabilized, right? Legit, it's fine. But there's not a lot of it. Okay, there's not a lot of 4K. That's a great opportunity. Now, there's probably a lot of HD. Let's take a look. Let's see. Oh my God, there's not. There's only 304 results of HD, okay? Now, I have probably an hour and a half of footage from the pyramids. And let me tell you this. I got very lucky when I was there because there was like nobody there. So I've got a lot of shots. You're seeing some of them here, and you can see people selectively tried to pick shots where there weren't a lot of people because it's obviously, you want to use something that's, this is okay. You just don't want a ton of people in front of you. I've got shots that just look like we rented out Giza for the day. So I should be uploading these. They're sitting doing nothing, you know? So I really want to emphasize, if you haven't checked out Stock, it's really, really awesome. And it really... and by the way, I see Sandwich is talking about the most expensive on the cloud. I don't know about that. I can tell you this. We pay more than the other providers do. So maybe you're not buying just yet. No reason you can't start selling. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do here, and we're going to go through and try and find some of my stuff. Crisis around time to book a trip to Egypt. Hell yeah. And bring your 4K camera, because we're missing 4K. And I want to point that out too. No matter what you do. California desert. Okay. 200 results. Desert backgrounds, these kinds of shots, you see these in commercials every day. Every day. Think about it. Resorts, right? The snake. Health insurance. Forget cinema. I mean, yes, you've got potential for cinema, but there's so many other reasons to use this kind of footage. There's a lot of snakes in here. And if you've got it in 4K, that's an advantage, my friends, because there's just not tons of it up here yet. Again, we just go to HD. I gotta believe there's a couple thousand. And yeah, there's like 1,700. Funny, I just shot some stuff myself last weekend right here at the windmills. This is like outside of Blythe, California. I think it's Blythe. I was just there. You think I'd remember. And as many times as I've driven through it. Okay? This clearly looks very GoPro. And it's also going to tell you, too, like, the file type, the frame rate, the codec. So you'll see that's H.264. A lot of this stuff. This is motion JPEG. Okay? Here's another H.264 we just saw before. There was some ProRes. A lot of MJPEG here. Here's a ProRes at 23976. Okay? Pretty nice. Now this, you can tell, again, it's some kind of, it's probably DJI Phantom or some GoPro quad rig. Also because it's not shooting 3840, right? So that's nice, though. A little more room to crop there. And also ProRes delivery, okay? So very cool stuff, all right? So like I said, Sandwich, I'm not sure of the individual prices. You'll have to see that on the site itself. I've got video credits. I don't actually know, but you can find out. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's start going through some of this stuff and see what we have. And even just for me, I haven't looked at this stuff since I shot it, so it's probably going to be a case of marking and seeing what can also be, what can be saved, like if I were to, let me see. Because this is otherwise a nice tilt, but it's handheld and hella shaky. And I think probably right before that shake right there, if I were to do a cut on this piece. So let me see if I go into my effects, grab our warp stabilizer, and let's see what that does. Now here's the thing, you can submit any number of clips. Oh, here, I'll put music on. You can submit any number of clips, and they have to be approved, of course. So, if they don't like it, it won't get approved. No harm, no foul. Your time preparing it, I guess. But now you've got other B-roll for yourself. Maybe try selling it elsewhere. But if you're a Creative Cloud member, you should get in the fold here. You're already kind of in the family, right? So now if I kind of wind this back, let's take a look. Oh, that looks pretty good. I can't tell. It looks like it got a little warpy right there. Or maybe not. And maybe I even try something like... Oh, and it won't let me... I'll have to... You can't time remap with stabilizer. I'd have to nest and then time remap afterwards. That's fine. But maybe do a little slow motion on this, right? It's kind of a nice tilt, all right? So maybe that piece is useful. Maybe. All right, let's go back here. So here I'm kind of finding my way. I'm doing a little focus pull on the logo on the seat there. Okay. Nothing much right there. I don't know what I was going for. I was just trying to be artistic. Okay, so maybe right around here. Nice shot right there. Let's do a cut. All right. You wonder how good a phone 4K is. So, Sandwich in Crisis, I gotta tell you. So honestly, between the Samsung and the iPhone, shockingly good. And you know, if you flatten, now here's the thing I've noticed too on Adobe Stock, and I don't know the specifics of this. I have to look into it, but I've said this to people who want to contribute. You know, for my money, I want a clip that's kind of flat, right? So when I deliver this, when I deliver this clip, you know, I probably want to deliver it with a LUT applied so that it's as flat as possible so that they can add all the color they need. Although I've seen that most of the clips on there tend to look already processed. Now that's pretty common for images, right? For stock imagery, I don't want to have to color correct it. I'm doing a business brochure. I need business people talking on a phone. Grab an image, it should already be kind of ready to go. Video is a little different though, right? Because matching color, matching feel, you have to tweak it. You do. So another benefit that I haven't really seen much of on there is if you deliver your content, and I assume they'll let you do this. I don't know why not. Flat and graded, that's 2 more ways to make money, right? Seems like if I'm going to be grabbing something that I have to edit into my own piece, especially if it's H.264, you saw a lot of that content is. You got a lot of GoPro 4K up there. And similarly coming from iPhone and Samsung S6 or whatever it's on, S7. You know, I want it flat, you know, and if it's not, and if it's already baked in, if I start grading it and it's H.264, you know, it might break down, and now I got to use noise reduction and other things. So there's lots of considerations there, but no reason to not offer both, right? All right, so let's see. So that clip there, iPhone 6 Plus against my Sony A7R for the right subject. Yeah, that's you know, Ian, that's like, I think that's a great statement right there, because on the surface, can you even compare the A7R to the iPhone 6? I mean, you wouldn't. No camera person, videographer is going to really compare them. Ultimately, though, with, you know, well lit iPhone 4K, I mean, it's good, right? It is. It absolutely is. Is it red raw? No. But it's good. And you know, that right there tells you that this is the world we're in, you know. So okay, so I'm thinking this clip here, when I kind of, and it's shaking, so right to that focus pull right there. Let's try a little bit of warp on this to see if this is going to work. Maybe I just leave it handheld and shake. You know, again, they don't have to necessarily accept them, so you just never know. Are you denosing video? I kind of stepped away from one. No, I wasn't. I could. I wasn't planning on. I was saying that if you uploaded or downloaded content that was pre-graded and then you tried to regrade or flatten, you may introduce noise. So now you're talking about adding noise reduction. That was the thing. Yeah, see, this piece would be okay, except that it's very short. It's probably a little too short. And that one little warpy bit right there. And you know what's funny? I didn't notice the skull before. Or the eyeball. So, you know, I might try changing, let's do perspective. See if that fixes it at all. No, that's even worse. Okay. Try position scale. I often just flip through the various options for stabilization. It's my fault, you know. Again, I moved. Actually, perspective. No, that's position scale rotation. That's not bad. That actually looks doable. Keepable. It's a keeper. Okay. So maybe we'll go with that. All right, let's keep on playing here. That's the tree frog looking at you accusingly. Nice. All right. So again, maybe start another one right here. Start cutting it right here. All right, and then I started to move. So I'm just going to cut these into sections where I stay still long enough. All right, right before that, cut it there. Okay. I'm surprised I didn't do a focus pull from... Oh, there it is. Okay, that's what I was looking for. There it is. All right. Now this, I may have to, just leave it handheld because I'm kind of right on the edge there, but you can see that this is nicely in focus. So, and I just do basically from here to the end of the spoke. So let's set a cut right here. All right. Let it linger for a minute. And then I go back again. And maybe you leave it to where it goes back out. So you have that. All right. And I'll just try. I'm adding the stabilizer just to see if it improves things. There's a lot of handheld stuff up there too. B-Dog, what is this going to be? So this is all B-roll, which is part of a little documentary that I'm putting together about creative transformation. And this happens to be just some footage that was shot in a bike shop in Helsinki in Finland. So what I was doing is we're going through and making selections here that could be potential Adobe Stock contributions. All right, just another way to leverage the content that you've shot. Okay, that's the best one so far. That is definitely, here I'm even going to, let me see. Yeah, I need to go back to the beginning. Why did I start in the middle? I didn't start with that guy. Okay, hold on, I'm trying to grab this portion bar, which I'm failing at. Why can I not grab this? There we go. Where were we? Right here. Okay. I just want to see this full screen for a second because this one I like. I think this is pretty good. And this is the thing, right? I mean, is this, how long is this clip? Yeah, it's 6 seconds, but that's, that's probably all we need. All right, let's just do a quick render on that. It should be very, very fast. Do they require a certain quality level of the images? Well, that's just it, my friend. I mean, obviously, sure, it should be good quality. But they'll make that determination, And by the way, lo-fi doesn't mean that somebody doesn't want lo-fi, and that's why I was saying, I mean, 4K, that's nice. That's nice. The stabilization looks good. It doesn't look fake, it doesn't look warpy. And the focus pull is real nice right there. Okay. Very cool. So, yes, with regard to your camera though, and again, dirty, gritty, not if it's not a red camera, it doesn't matter, There's no reason not to try submitting. Worst thing is they just don't accept it, right? But the best thing is they do, And as I said, there's oh, look at that. So yeah, you can see the reflection of the wall there. That might be cool. I mean, I don't, I only have DSLR and iPhone myself. I'm not shooting with a red, and I have nice lenses, but I think it, especially stylistic content in the moment, I think it can really be anything. I mean, we're definitely in an age where it's, what have you got? Oh, it was shot on an iPhone. Oh, that's fine. We can work it in. We'll work it in somehow. I think that's kind of the thinking for a lot of things. Oh, see, I should have held that one a little longer. Too bad. Not too much. I mean, this this is like a second, you know? I just didn't leave it on here long enough. I should have lingered a little longer. Yeah, I should have lingered longer. See if that does anything. Sony 76 something can be found on Amazon for about $80. Oh yes. Do all the videos need sound? Oh no, absolutely not, Ian. In fact, you'll find even with the ones that because you can preview them online. Very few that I've come across have sound, because most of them, especially like the landscapes that we just saw, what's the sound? It's either if it's a GoPro on a quadcopter, it's just no good. Even there's ocean shots that I found on there, and it's just all the camera noise, all the copter noise. So no, sound is not essential, and in fact, for most of the ones that I've even downloaded, you can see them. You can see them here actually. So these are all various landscapes. The blue check mark shows that I've licensed those, and then the non-checked or the unlicensed. The previews. None of these have any sound, because these are all like, some snowy mountain in China, and it's someone who's clearly got a tripod, and they're just kind of like panning, freezing. So there's no sound on those at all. Yeah. And yes, thank you, CBR, MDR 7506. GoPro sound, not the face, not the face. Right. Exactly. All right, let's see. How did this one do? Yeah, I mean, that's okay. This is a very short clip. It's 3 seconds. So I don't know if they'd necessarily go for that, but why not? It's a cutaway. No reason not to upload it and see, give it a shot. Yeah. I should have lingered on there too. I didn't really. I don't even like the framing of this shot. There's nothing there. I'm not really seeing anything there. You're kind of new to photo and video technical stuff. Oh, cool, man. Well, hey, listen, again, that's a good space to be in, because right now especially, now this could be cool with the little defocus. Let's start it right about there. It's also very short. I'm gonna try and warp it. Oh, hold on. And I know I want to cut this before it moves. I've talked about this before. Hold on, I need to redo the analysis here. We'll redo it. Okay. One of the benefits that you have working in video now is that, as I said, it's kind of an anything goes kind of world we're in with regard to video. The technical expertise is wonderful, but at the end of the day, especially when you're talking about B-roll and stock, what looks good? Is it beautiful to look at? Because then I don't care if it was captured with a with a Super 8 film camera, dirty and grainy and everything else, because there might be someone who's looking for something just like that. And see, even this is kind of a neat shot, right? I don't know, spokes, the little what is that called? The cap, right? I don't know. I don't know that it's Fellini, but it's something, right? Okay, so I've got a couple options there. Let's wind back to the beginning and see some of this, and we'll start marking up some of this. Now, when I've got all those, what I'll often do is I'll change the label colors on these. Okay, so this is kind of a way for me just to know that this is something that I've sort of selected as a possible choice. So I'll just change the label color. I used to mark them and do other things to them. Let's do something a little more obvious. Let's do mango. Okay. No, nothing in there. This one here, we'll make it mango. was thinking something in the garden, spading into the ground, boots stamping down, something I can do with tripods at home. Yeah, I mean, Ian, that's the thing, you know? Just go for it. I would also definitely recommend, if you're going to do it, like I just did, you know, I'll leave that one. Do a search and see what's out there already. Just as sort of a good indicator of, you know, okay, yeah, if there's, you know, if I went up there just now and saw that there were 6,000 clips of, you know, someone doing focus pulls and rack focus on bike wheel spokes, okay, maybe then I'd be a little more critical of my own. That doesn't mean I'm not going to upload mine. It's still legit. Why not? I mean, if they can, I can. But it kind of just gives you an idea of, oh yes, there's an opportunity here. There's a whole bunch of stuff that, you know, no one's using or nobody has, and or maybe there's very little, and that's, you know, that's worth it. Okay, take this off of there. All right. So you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 potential clips right there that could be stockable, right? And I would ultimately probably export these out as ProRes, or, you know, I could just do MJPEG, I suppose, or leave them H.264. I'd probably do ProRes because it's DSLR, because it's now edited. I could treat it a little bit more. It's not cheating, you know. I can certainly say where it came from. Just so that somebody's working with you know, a native file format that is going to allow them to do all the stuff they need to do to it. Already searching. Car washing, yep. Landscapes are great, yep. You've got the idea. All right. Now there's something here, if I just would stay still long enough. Yeah, see that whole bit before I start moving right there? I don't know why I like that. I just do. So let's see. Let's see if this can be saved. All right. Let it do its thing. We'll just keep on going as I readjust. All right, I didn't stay there very long. I kept going back to this, like the side of this thing. I was so fast. I don't know why. I was like so fascinated by these little things. Again, these would make nice stills too, but I was so fascinated by the metal plate labels on here. You know, love that. Now that, you know, that could be something right there. It's a little. I look like I need a V8. I'm a little off balance there. But again, we'll see. Let's move it right up to... maybe there. Yeah, see, I don't know if that's gonna... I don't know how that's going to fare. But we'll see. That's a long clip too. Let's go back to this one here and see. Is it still analyzing? It is. Okay. Hey, Robzilla. How are you doing? If you're shooting raw video, should I stay with Premiere or switch to DaVinci Resolve Shifted Cube? Presumably you're talking about grading. I mean, you know, that's entirely up to you. Premiere certainly handles all native raw formats brilliantly. We have the Lumetri color panel. We've got integration with SpeedGrade. You know, if you haven't sort of played around in Lumetri, and now in this next version coming, we've got tangent support for some of the new tangent devices as well for grading. Got your standard color wheels, you know, RGB curves. You've also got HSL secondaries coming in this next version of Premiere, which is coming very, very soon. It's not today, unfortunately. And all of your other color adjustments. You can import any kind of 3D LUT files. So again, LUTs that you may otherwise use in Resolve, you can bring into here. We have a whole series of input LUTs for all the various cameras, as well as creative LUTs. And again, you're getting several dozen more of these. You know, you can even build .cube files directly from Lumetri, and again import external LUTs and such. It's entirely up to you. I mean, I think if you're finishing and if you're used to Resolve for grading and you're comfortable, and so you do your cut here and you grade over there. I know Resolve also offers some editing capabilities now as well. It's really up to you. You know, I think people who are grading pros who love living in the grading space and that visual environment. I mean, we've got beautiful scopes now too, which we also didn't have before. You know, they might want to be in Resolve, but it entirely depends on what you want. I would safely say that, you know, for me, Premiere does everything I need it to do, but maybe not for some. Okay, so that first clip, that looks okay. It's got a little warpy bit there in the middle. Or is it right about there? A little warpy. But the motion is, it's kind of nice. Like this whole section right here is okay. I like it. No reason this couldn't be legit. All right, so we'll keep moving through this stuff here. I didn't linger there very long. Okay, is this the piece we just did? Here, let me get rid of some of my scopes here. Ooh, see, this one kind of wigged out with the stabilizer. I was afraid of that. It had to do too much cropping. Now, it's interesting. Yeah, it's too warpy. Yeah. Actually, that little bit right there at the end, that in and of itself is sort of a cool shot. I hate that I did a focus adjust there. That kind of ruined it. Yeah. It'll just look cool. Like as an analog guy, I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I want that. Machines. I'm gonna do a screenshot of it. I mean a frame export. Do it as a TIFF. And I'll place this with the other content, which is here. Do I already have a folder for stills? I might. CX stills. Okay, choose it. Stick it in there. Okay. All right, and we'll keep on moving. Hey, Rockraft, I'm great. Thanks for on the summer. Yep. What are your thoughts on capturing with more than 25, 30 FPS in regard to Adobe Stock? Wouldn't do harm, would it? Oh no, Solnim. Again, that's another area of opportunity. I've definitely seen a handful of 60 frame per second clips, but yeah, I mean, if you've got beautiful 60 FPS, you should absolutely take advantage of that. I'm sure there probably are some. There may very well be some. Oh, that's a nice little run right there. Now I'm gonna do this whole piece, and I'll just stabilize it just to see what it does. This is long. I might want to cut this into 2 clips. I don't need like so many racks back and forth. So I'll just cut it here and try the stabilizer on this. But yeah, no, absolutely high frame rate. I mean, that's the thing. I guess one of the other thinkings, and I learned this from Terry too, you know, it's not also just sort of searching what's up there. Like, okay, I don't want to duplicate what everybody already has. But the other side of that is, what do people want? And one thing I can absolutely say is people love, whether you're a stock user or not, people love slow motion, right? And especially if you're the kind of person who uses stock content, if you're doing any kind of corporate work, commercial work, a lot of times you're doing some basic time remapping just to have it fit the visual or the audio track. So having, not that you shot it, not that the video they'll see is slow motion, it's that, oh, this is shot at 60 frames. So when I do a slow motion to play it as if it's 24, it's going to look fluid. I don't even have to use optical flow or an effect to slow it down. I can just reinterpret the frame rate in Premiere. and it's going to look gorgeous. And now if you've got 60 frame and 4K, you know, now you're talking. Now you've really piqued interest. So I'd say it definitely there's definitely no downside. You know, look at that. That's quite beautiful. Quite beautiful. Little bit of movement, little bit of motion. It's actually oh, okay, that's the end of the clip. It handled my my focus pulling very, very nicely without any weird warping. Sometimes when you do a focus pull, or like you do a rack focus, the warp stabilizer gets it loses its sort of tracking center. This one looks actually really good, and it looks nice and smooth. So that's going to work for me. I dig that. All right. So did that answer your question, Solnem? Make sense? Yeah, 60p and 40k is out of your Sony's ability, Ian. For now, right? I mean, and I don't know if that's maybe that's something they could do with. I would think that could be a firmware update. I don't know, but I mean, outside of that though, I mean that's the only thing that's preventing me from upgrading my D800 to the D810 or anything, is that I don't need 60 FPS at 1080, although that would be nice. I mean, again, that's wonderful. I'd much rather have 4K, you know, at 60, and so when that happens, that's when I'll make the move. And outside of that, yeah, see, it's a little warpy, but I'll keep it as a possible one. Again, really no reason not to. Worst thing that happens is they don't use it, right? They decline. Okay, so let's see what else we got in here. There's a lot. I did this clearly for like 5 minutes because I was so mesmerized. What is all of this? Yeah, no, I hear you, Ian. That Sony's amazing, and that's the thing too. By the way, having said that, you know, we've got optical flow now in Premiere. If you've ever used time warp in After Effects to do more than 60 frame, like 120 frame simulation, and then you've got plugins like Twixtor that will do, you know, you can simulate 1,000 frame per second slow motion. You know, you can shoot it at 24 or 4K and still get a pretty cool look. Okay, I'm shaking pretty hard right there, so I don't think that's gonna work. So I think we got the best clip out of that. All right. So this one right here. Here's the start frame. Let's see this. I'm gonna do a little focus pull. All right, and I'll get it before I get out of there. Okay. Stabilize it. Just reading here. Pixels are pixels, and you can't exactly add more. Yeah, I mean, now again, for stock, you know, and that's why I said I wouldn't do an upscale. I wouldn't deliver content shot at 1080, upscale to 4K, and try and put that on stock as 4K. You know, unless it was really, really good. And I don't actually know what the rule is about that. I mean, you know, ultimately, kind of falls into one of those categories. If no one can tell, does it matter? But I don't know. I've not uploaded any 4K, so I don't know if it says like if this is upscaled content, you know, that must be indicated or whatever. I don't honestly know. But just in terms of shooting though, just back to Ian's comment though, you know, adjusting frame rate and adjusting raster size is definitely easier than it ever was. And as CBR just pointed out, yeah, with detail preserving upscale in After Effects, the resizing, rescaling is shocking at times how good it is. Okay, All right, and that looks like that's all of those clips. So, in this brief time here, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 clips of potential stock contributions from stuff that was just sitting around doing nothing at all. All right, from 2 little clips. Okay. Oh, and there's CBR Network right there. Okay, let's go to this one here. It's like 1:20. This isn't even very long. Actually, we'll just drop this down into the timeline here. Okay. Diddly-dee. Hey, Paulina, how are you? All right. And again, these are like, motorcycle, fender, chrome beauty shots. Some of it, the idea in my head was so good, but the movement wasn't always. Okay, so again, I'm doing a focus adjust there. All right, so maybe we'll start it there. All right, cut that. Let it linger. Because I don't think the movement is going to go, I don't think that's going to go over so well. 354.20. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I think it's going to have trouble with this, and that's not good anyway. So let's do 354.20. Cut it right there. Throw on some warp on here, see what this looks like. Temporarily color this mango so I know to go back to it. And keep on moving. All right. It's Friday, so everyone is happy. Yes, indeed. Or they should be. All right. See, I don't even know I didn't hold some of these even long enough, even to use as inserts for the documentary. Not a great shot. I mean, it's not great framing anyway. I don't know, composition-wise, what I was going for there. I was looking back at some of my stuff and going, I think I was out of ideas. All right. Now, let's see here what we've got. Well, I need to get more coffee. Okay, that's kind of nice. Okay, hey, I'm just going to grab some more coffee. So I will be back in just a moment. I'm going to get some coffee, get rid of my camera here. Don't go anywhere. Thank you again for joining me. Hey, it's 11:11. I am Beetle Jace. We are reviewing B-roll and prepping content to be used or to be added as a contributor to Adobe Stock. All right, I want to point out again the URL. Ian and many others have already chimed in. Hey, I've got content. I think I might want to do that. stock.adobe.com/contributor. Okay, check it out if you haven't already. I'm gonna do this today. I've been delaying this for a while, and it's, by the way, video and imagery, right? So many of the photos and stuff that I've got, it would take me so long to go through them to really even sift them out. That'll take a while. But this stuff, it's just it's sitting here, and I already did all the Egypt footage. We did it online, right? I've already got that stuff separated out, so there's great opportunity there. Dang. All right, Make-A-Wish, 11:11. All right, yes, it was done. I was doing that virtually, you didn't even know. We were thinking along the same lines here, Vivini and Paulina. So, okay, yes, so thank you again. Again, if you haven't already followed me on my channel, twitch.tv/BeetleJace, more motion graphics, more audio, more video, more imagery and nerdery. And I think I may very well stream after this stream is over in 45 minutes on my channel, after a little bit of lunch. So we'll do some more over there, maybe some audio today, some music. It's been composing and laying down a lot of music tracks. Okay, so I'm just going to turn off the camera for a sec. I'll be back momentarily. Stick around. I'm just going to grab some coffee. All right, see you in a second, or 2 minutes, whichever. And I'll mute my mic as well so you can have cleaner sound from iTunes. All right.
some time for this art of mine, 'cause I just can't take it all in. Still will remember Mama's little girl. Ooh, Mama's little girl, little girl. Mama's little girl, looking like a rosebud. Mama's little girl, kicking up a mountain. Mama's little girl. You better give me some time for this art of mine, 'cause I just can't take it all in. Still I will remember Mama's little girl. Ooh, Mama's little girl, little girl. Mama's little girl. Singing like a skylark, looking like a rosebud, kicking up a mountain, yeah, yeah, Mama's little girl. Some time for this art of mine, 'cause I just can't take it all in. Still I will remember Mama's little girl. Ooh, Mama's little girl, little girl. Mama's little girl.
So this one is
5'2" Eyes of Blue.
5'2" Eyes of Blue in G. Take one. Here we go.
We'll do the beginning in the same way. We'll play a little bit of piece of it, and then we'll go into the singing.
All right. Hearing a little bit of Fuzzy while I was gone. All right. One of the many sessions that he and I have done together. So, I was just looking at this from afar.
5'2" Eyes of Blue.
Drop that down. This stuff looks really freaking cool. Now, you know what just occurred to me? Here we're talking about, I can sleep hearing the song and slowly fading away to dream. Oh, very nice, Paulina. I find Fuzzy's music is absolutely mesmerizing and very good to do that. CBR, you have not heard Mama's Little Girl. Oh, nice. Oh, thanks. Holy moly. Very nice. Oh, thank you, Vivini. Thank you, thank you. Oh, Paulina, you were talking about the lullaby. Yes, of course. I'm a little slow today. So it just occurred to me, let's get back on the stock train for a second. I know you're thinking, corporate suck up. No. I'm making a point. So right, we're talking about contributing these. I'm doing this thing. I need footage to fill out. Because I think I've got I don't know that I have enough, actually. I thought I shot a lot more of those machines. I didn't shoot that much. And these clips are all short. So do you remember, we were just looking before. What did I look up? Metal... What did I search for? I searched for metal drill 4K, right? So let me just do this workflow. So remember I was saying, okay, first of all, so look at this footage here. Now this piece, this to me looks, okay, it's MJPEG. It definitely has color baked in. I mean, it's, I think we'd be okay just looking at the bit rate here. Might be okay with retreating this. We've definitely got some decent shadow detail, even though this is kind of fading into complete darkness, but I can definitely see some detail down there, so that's okay. This clip, however, is fully treated, right? So this is pre-graded. It actually looks like there was maybe... Those look artificial. Those flares and light leak-ish things, that looks like that's After Effects, actually. Maybe not, but... Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Could be. Hard to tell. Doesn't matter. Let's say that I really like this clip. So remember, I was just saying that, someone was asking, well, can you just buy them, get them for free or download a preview? I want to see if this is going to work in the context of my edits. So let's do that, right? So I'm going to download the preview right now. when I do that, this is so cool because it actually says, do you want the HD or the 4K version? Well, I want the 4K version. Oh, but I got to make sure also that it's in the right. I'm going to put it in my 416 folder. Let's save 4K. Okay, and now it's doing just that. It's actually downloading the preview of that 4K to my CC library. Now, this is another one of those things, and I heard people saying it. You know, why use Adobe Stock? You know, and then I had somebody say, well, you work there. Sure, you're telling people to use Adobe Stock. Yes, I do work there, but there's a better reason for using Adobe Stock. Because it integrates directly with the applications that you're acquiring the footage for. Case in point. All right. So let's go back to to Premiere Pro. Now I just saved that to my 2016 4K library. I've got a bunch of shared libraries. So it's this one here, 2016 4K video. All right. Choose that. And let's scroll up here. And, oh, looky there, waiting for me already. There it is right there. I hate that that stupid tooltip pops up in the way. Fragaggle. But you can see it. By the way, see, it's also 10 seconds. Now this little hover over, though, this tells us kind of everything we need to know about it. The full title, close-up footage of drills and other industry milling equipment at a factory. Shot on red... Okay, so this was actually shot with a red camera. All right, then maybe that wasn't fully processed. You never know. Point being, this is true 4K. And I want to see how this is going to interact with some of those other clips. And maybe I can try and do a test grade to see, can I even get close? Because this one, the color is already baked in. So if I go ahead and just add this to the project, you'll see a little progress indicator here. Now, you see the download counter went up to like 4 minutes and then it was seconds. So this is just the preview. This is not the full res version of the file, mind you. It's obviously a smaller H.264. But the download happened very quickly. If you take a look, you can see the actual attributes, 3840 by 2160. It's 25 FPS. Someone might say, but you're in 23976. Doesn't matter, you can throw multiple frame rates into the same timeline. Premiere does all the heavy lifting. But, so let's see, let's go back over here. These were the ones where we were kind of thinking, these clips might go together. All right, some of these machine clips. All right. Yeah, these are cool. Some of these, all right. Some of this cool stuff here. Okay, so let me do this. I'm going to take this clip. You can see it's branded. We can actually watch it in the source monitor now. So there it is in 4K. Looks very nice, even in preview. It's watermarked, obviously, because we haven't licensed it. If I take this and I drag it onto the program monitor, and this was something that we added in November. Now you've got all these drop zones, so I can say insert before the cursor, insert after where the cursor is, or the clip that's selected, insert right where the cursor is, and it's showing you what it's going to do. You can overlay, you can replace, you can overwrite. Let's just insert, okay? Like this. So, and of course it's 4K in a 1080 timeline, so we'll go ahead and scale this to the frame size. All right. And if we kind of do these side by side now, all right, let me go ahead and grab one of those LUTs. So first I'm going to use an input LUT to kind of even further flatten my footage, okay? And now, if I go up to creative, I'm thinking, see these blue, all these blue coal, blue steel, blue ice, blue intense? I'm just going to try one of these by default and see if we can kind of, and actually that first one, curiously. This one is kind of in the same, now this is, again, this could be tweaked further. Okay, you can even cool this, pull it more towards the blues here. And I'm looking and I'm going, all right, you know what? yeah, like I think I can make this work. Increase the black level a little bit. All right, previewing these two side by side. Okay, now that's a 2-second fix. It's still a little green. I'll probably push it a little more magenta here. All right. Ooh, that might just be it. Ooh, ooh. Robbie Carmen's going, all right, dude, you're getting the idea. Talk about how a lot of the color stuff I've learned from Robbie Carmen. All right, but in just a few seconds, like I'm going, okay, yeah, I can see these two things working together. Silence. The chat is silent. Mind's blown. It's not mind-blowing. It's just that it freaking works, man. And now, at this point today, if I wanted to license this video, I have to do it inside the library panel here. So I actually have to right-click and choose License Video, okay? What's coming in the next version, which is coming very, very soon, as you know, you will have the ability to license right from the timeline here. And more importantly, any effects, like let's say I actually took this, and here I'm curious. Oh, well, this is an H.264, so it's not really going to, it's not really going to work like I want. I mean, I wouldn't reflatten, but yeah, I'm not going to put these red LUTs on here. That actually isn't a bad idea, just do the Rec 709. But let's say that I wanted to go the other way with this. I actually wanted to have this one kind of match the other one a little bit more, right? So we can kind of go more towards the warmer tones. Now, this is not, it's not fully representative, of course, because we're working with an H.264, basically a proxy, right, of that 4K. Let's put this back to normal. But the idea is we could do either or. We could kind of go back and forth and see, oh yeah, those look pretty close, and really start to determine whether or not this stock footage is going to be easily implemented. Hey Sliced, how are you? You're here to break the silence. This triangle, mind is blown. Excellent. We've only been silent for 4 seconds. Yes. Yep, and CBR makes a great point, and Paulina makes a point. So much great stuff on stock, and it's so great to be able to preview on a device even, save it to a library, get back to your desktop, and it's there waiting for you. And like I said, I mean, even here, just looking at this, like grade-wise, these are pretty similar. And this one, because it's got a bit more, like again, I could come in here, maybe we amp up the highlights a little bit, right? You can see I'm getting it even closer now. All right. And I'm just doing this visually. I'd probably also, if I were doing this for reels, I'd have my Lumetri scopes up there. Yeah, I'm getting a little clip territory there with the highlights. Need to be careful. You get the idea. So this is a really phenomenal way to work. And as I said, in the next version, you'll be able to license directly from within the timeline all the changes that you made, just like in Photoshop today. Today in Photoshop, you can already do this. You download Adobe Stock, you apply stuff to it, you do changes, and you go, okay, I like it, and you just right-click and you license, and everything you did is retained, but the watermark goes away. That's the only difference, right? Everything changes except the watermark goes away, and now instead of pointing to, a 100 megabyte H.264 file, it's now pointing to a 1 gigabyte ProRes or whatever, whatever the format is that you downloaded. So that's coming very, very soon, and that's just so useful. But even now, even in the version you have right now, there's so much great stuff you can do with this, and just the fact that it's integrated right into your app, you don't have to go anywhere. That's the other thing. If you download this same stock stuff from somewhere else, iStock Photo, whatever, you work it into the timeline. You're actually color grading this to match everything else. Well, now you got to download the other one separately, right? You're also, when you download, you're not like worrying about where it's going. You've already determined it's going into that library, into a specific location. So you don't have to like go back and then find it and then import it into the project and then put it in your timeline and then copy and paste all the attributes to match. It's a one-click process, which is so useful. I'd like myself a Lumetri scope wallpaper. Oh yeah. It's fun. You can really get some and these two, by the way, I mean, to be honest, I don't even like looking at these now because the new Lumetri scopes, the modified scopes in the new version, there is so much more detail in the scopes themselves. If you go back to the reveal that I did here on Twitch, you can see it. I mean, it just, it's so much detail. It looks so good. Okay. All right, so back to our, so was that cool? Did we like that? Did that make sense? Bringing in a stock piece just to see if it's going to work in the context of the edit. By the way, I may very well use that stock piece. So you saw it here. So if you're watching when I eventually cut this documentary, you're like, hey, I remember those gears. I remember that shot. It's Adobe Stock. And once you license it... Oh, I just pulled a hair up. Oh, no. Oh, sorry, buddy. Let's see, how long is this one? Not so long. Oh, it's kind of long. This was here moments ago. You see it in front of the camera? No. All right, I just lost it. You'll watch and you'll go, yeah, I remember when he downloaded that. The gears. Okay. Anything good here? Oh, yes, that's where I was. Okay, we were going to look here. Did I ever stabilize on this? Can someone tell me what this part of the motorcycle is called right there? I think I want to start this one. I don't want to start fully, like I don't want this to be too in focus, so I'll probably start the cut here. All right. And then we pull the focus right there. Ooh. Shaky. How long is this? It's like 5 seconds. Yeah, right about there. A little bit of stabilization, just to see. Color code, mango, not to be confused with manga. All right. By the way, really creepy song behind me here. This is, it's the front. Thank you, Ian. This is a very different time. This is a partial reading of a song by Arthur Brown and Kingdom Come, circa 1972, called The Whirlpool. And I mixed it to sound like a really creepy old sort of vinyl radio broadcast, although it's very stereo. And I didn't know the words.
Shots with my own gun makes me wonder why.
This is a Sound of Creative Sync held note. Listen, it just keeps going. But I never wonders why I hold notes so long. The inspiration for that was actually Arthur Brown. And Ian, I know you know Arthur Brown. Why? Paulina, with the lights off, you damn... Yes. Yeah, for real. I remember recording that. I was in my old studio. And totally dark. It was at night. Me at the electric piano. Guitars were overdubbed afterwards. Me at the electric piano and singing. And I assembled the whole like soundscape ahead of time. So it felt like I was in this creepy environment. And yeah, so funny. Might be the air filter cover. Right. Yes, I would agree. Hey, Desiree, how are you? If we're paying for stock, yes. Let's talk about a better clip, right? Premiere 101. The Adobe Stock workflow is unparalleled. Thank you, Admiral Shane. Yes. Oh, Paulina, the graphics lines, you don't get it. Ah, yes. Well, we will, and I see Sandwich wants to understand those scopes too. I'm going to be doing so we've got the audio 101s right now, Mondays and Fridays, that first hour. No reason I can't do two at the same time. Well, one after the other. So I will be starting a Premiere 101 very soon. I haven't exactly decided when I want to do it. But, and maybe I should sort of complete the audio one and then continue. I don't know. Tell me your thoughts. If you think, do an hour of that, an hour of Premiere, and then an hour of me just making stuff. I want to do that. A lot of people have asked. And then we'll cover scopes and other things and how you can use these to help you grade and prep your content. Hawkwind. Oh, yes. Madness in your ears. Dude, I was, I was playing some Hawkwind the other day on my channel, wasn't I? Or no, on here. I pulled up some Hawkwind for some reason. I can't remember. Put Your Pants On sounds so different. Ooh, thank you, Sliced. Hope you dig it. It's a song for kids and adults. Complete audio. Okay, complete audio first. Yeah, okay. Premiere 101, Paul Dini. Okay. It will get done either way. Okay. Hold on, sorry. Let's turn the music back down. Anyway, so if you don't know Arthur Brown, famous for a song in 1968 called Fire, go to YouTube and search for Crazy World of Arthur Brown Fire and watch this. It's a black and white video from, I think it's Top of the Pops from 1968. If you scare easily or you get creeped out, like, don't watch it alone in a dark place because it's super freaky. And a song and a guy, a person, an artist who very influential for me. Okay, see, now this clip looks okay. The very beginning, there's a little bit of warp right here. All right, but actually, it's kind of nice, right? Will they take it? No idea. But doesn't hurt to submit it and try. And you think, again, who's going to buy this? I don't know, somebody. Okay, good. I was going to say, please tell me I got the mirror. All right. Yeah, so this is where you need a really good focus puller because it's hard. Okay. So that could be the whole shot. Maybe it starts in focus. Because it took me a while to stabilize on the focus. Right there. Right there, it's sharp. Okay. So I'll set a cut right here. And we'll go until I... All right. Right there. Cut to cut. All right. Warp this sucker too. And like I said, I'm putting the warp on there just to see if it improves things. If it in any way ruins the shot or changes it in a negative way, then I wouldn't use that, and I would just export them as they are. Like I said, there's plenty of handheld. You know, nothing wrong with handheld, especially for documentary stuff. I mean, you know, ooh, like, nice. And actually, let's see, I was going to say, and this one may have even have been saved doubly because, yeah, that's kind of nice. Now, what I might try with this clip, this is another thing. So, you know, you saw me changing the methods of smoothing the warping here, or smoothing the adjustment. The other thing is you can actually say no motion. So then it basically locks down on the element that's kind of in focus here. And then you get that. Now that looks, it looks weird because the background is going, right? It looks, someone who didn't know how that was achieved would be going, how the hell, what? You watching that? Be right back, Paulina. All right, awesome. If I could pick one thing as the most annoying thing in the Adobe world, and nothing to do with Premiere Audition, but Lightroom. I so wish I could delete from a smart collection. Tell Terry. Oh. Yes, I know. There, you know, the Lightroom. I'll be honest. It's funny you say that, Ian, because. Okay. All right, Sandwich, you'll be there for Premiere 101. Ian, it's funny you say that because actually Terry, and he just did this on one of his Lightroom classes, talking about the file organization and if you're this one's got a lot of clipped highlights here. If you know, if you're going to be moving your content and where to do, you know, where to make those changes, where to delete things, all this kind of stuff, and Yeah, that's just clip. That's okay. Again, we'd be fine in broadcast. We'd be fine for cutting this for YouTube. There are some little things, and he talked about those, like with the smart collections and some of the ways. A lot of it's by design to prevent certain things from going wrong. But I do hear you, so I will tell him on your behalf. Anyway, so my point is the no motion thing. While it looks neat, it's weird, right? It doesn't look bad. It's just you don't quite understand how it's happening. So, just to go back to smooth motion. All right. Now it looks handheld, but you kind of get a better idea of what I did there. So, all right. And I probably did that a few times. Oh no, I only did it the one. Okay, very good. Now it looks like I centered on the motorcycle. Yeah, I just didn't linger very long, so I don't know. And it's very shaky. So let's see. I doubt this can be saved, but you know what I always say. Just try it, you may be surprised. Okay. Is it a computer algorithm or a team of people reviewing or one person making the decision as to whether something or not is deemed acceptable? It is, yes, it is. CBR. And I see theater. Yes, it is human moderated. Yeah, that's funny. You're actually the second person that asked me that. There was someone at NAB who was saying, "Oh, is it algorithm based or they actually do physical review," which is nice. So this is okay. It's funny. There's some warpy artifacts happening in the light reflection. So I don't know ultimately if I did a full render on this at full quality what this would look like. My only other problem with this is that it's not. If you look at sort of rule of thirds here, the composition isn't very good. I mean, I'd have to crop or scale it up even more, which by the way, Warp Stabilizer does its own scaling as well, based on how much it needs to, stabilize, crop, and rescale to fit any kind of, because that's what that's doing. The reason why there's the automatic rescaling is a lot of times when you stabilize, of course, you end up with letterboxing, pillar boxing, because it's following the motion of the camera, which isn't always within that 1080 or 2160p window. So you can do the scaling here. You could also crop less, smooth more. You can kind of see here. If there's rolling shutter, by the way, this is something which I don't get to point out a lot. Rolling shutter, still an issue with many DSLR cameras. As you pan side to side, fast motion, it looks like things are actually bending. That's what rolling shutter is. So this will automatically reduce that by default, like it's on by default. And there's enhanced reduction and automatic. It is a non-destructive process, which is why it's on by default. And you can even do a more detailed analysis if you want. Hey, Pauline is back. Awesome. So, okay. So that's those cuts right there. So how many more did we add to our potential library? Here, I gotta make this one. Mango. What about 3 or 4 more? That's what I said before. We had 10. Okay, so we got 13. All right. So hey, that's 13 potential clips right there. And like I said too, and I need to find this out for myself, but I'm very curious to know, if you do a flat and then a graded one, I don't know why they wouldn't let you sell both, right? For the reasons I just described. I mean, as we saw, in this edit over here, it wound up working out in the end, but basically it was kind of like, it's a bit of a gamble. I really did do a pretty sweet job of matching those pretty quickly. But I would certainly want a flat clip, because I don't know if that's the grade I want for this, right? Which again, I can further recolor this clip too, but it's just the idea that if you start flat without color processing, you want to add it back in, Hey, Aztalk Dog, good to see you. Oh, alarm was set, but the phone went flat. Ah, sorry. Catch the audio part replay, man. Absolutely. Yeah, it was a good one. It went a little long. I went about 15 minutes over today, but noise reduction is complex. Someone's car alarm is going off. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. What does it say? Hilljack? I know it's probably a big topic, but how does Adobe handle copyright claims? If I upload footage of someone unpacking a Wii U, can Nintendo slam a claim on it? That's kind of an interesting scenario. Yeah, so I mean, now you'd have to do this. You'll see this when you're going through. So this is more on the stock side, of course, which is Adobe. But there is obviously a licensing agreement that you have to, you have to own. Before you upload, you have to make sure that you're allowed to upload the footage that you shot. Yeah, I mean, in general, I would say that things that have, branded elements. Now, that's not to say, I mean, here, in fact, why don't we do a quick search real fast? I was going to say, like, office worker laptop Apple. Okay. So, like, I'm looking at these clips here. Oh, there's only 12. That's not very many. So, do you see in this stock clip right here? See how they have that taped, right? Now the Macs, obviously, you're it's like we know that's a Mac, but you're not seeing the Apple icon. Same with this clip here. You can see they've got they've got something on here that looks like that could have been done in After Effects. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's probably a general rule that you don't want to show brands because that's a problem, right? So yeah, unpacking a Wii U where the Nintendo box and logo is very obvious. Now, having said that, if I show, this, right, and I have a little pan of that, I mean, it is an iPhone, but there's nothing branding it as such. Now, if I did this, as my clip, panning left, right, different story. So I'm sure there's something about that in the license agreement for stock. I mean, just looking at kind of the video here. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So there's nothing with HP with like branded laptops. Excuse me. I have to believe that. Yep, there you go again. So covering the logos. So that's telling you right there. And I didn't doubt any. I didn't doubt it otherwise. It's just how crafty people have been. So yeah, you want to stay away from that in general. Because the other thing is you want it to be generic. Now if you got a really tight close up. I mean, I've got a Wii U of the top right hand corner where it's the power button. And the eject button, and it, any gamer knows, oh, that's a Wii U. But it doesn't, you're not otherwise saying Nintendo Wii. That's legit, right? So, just like here, like that's a Polycom or whatever, that phone. I can't see Polycom on there, though, So, it's okay. Okay. I'm looking to see here. I mean, yeah, no one's made that mistake. Look, she's got a cover over her laptop right there. They've got a cover on theirs right here. Oh, look, they even have it on the iPad. And look at how bad that is. That's actually like a sticker. That's a raised sticker. This one looks like someone tried to pull it off. I messed up. Right? I'll just stick another one on top of it. These are nice clips. I'm not trying to knock the clips at all. I'm just saying, but you can see how they've gone through lengths to mask the mask the branding. Okay. Yes. Okay. So that I hope that answered your question, Hilljack. I guess it did. You've gone quiet on me, but we'll just assume it has. Hey, a witch named Morwen. How are you? How are you, Caitlin? Oh yes, and Sam Peterson in 13 minutes. Hard to believe. Very specific. So, that Lumetri Scope wallpaper thingy made my Photoshop go crazy. Need a session on masking no-nos in video before submitting to Adobe Stock. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, again, you know, better ways. They could have done that in post and made it look a lot better. Yep, Theater Geeks got it. Even if you search McDonald's, you'll find stuff that's related to McDonald's, but the logo's removed, and you can still tell what it is. And that's the thing, you know. You can. Oh, and look at this one here. You know, this is so funny. Look at what they did here. They did like a track and blur, you know, which looks worse than if they just made it silver, because of course the apple is illuminated, you know. But that's okay. I mean, I don't. But even for me, like, if I were to download that clip and ultimately use it, and look, it got a little messy in this one here. If I were to use this, I would go into After Effects and I would remask this and then clone. I'd clone in a flat part of the laptop to get rid of that blurriness, just because that visually that doesn't look as good to me. I'd prefer a noticeable piece of tape than that, you know. And that's just preference there. Starcrunch, you loved that song, the very last one that I just played. Sorry, I miss it. I'm like all delayed. Hey, Black Horse, what's up? What's good? What's shaking? Okay, Helljack, you got it. Sweet. Beetlejuice, what happens if you search Jason in Adobe Stock? Oh, probably nothing. Now, if you search my name in Google, different story. But in here, not going to be much, I don't think. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. After Effects, the logo. Okay. I'm just reading through everything. Yep, everyone's agreeing with me on that, on the masking things. And it's funny, right? And this is the thing, this is what I'm saying. It's an opportunity, right? You see what so many have done. Do it yourself and make it better. Yours will get used, you know? I just said, like, that one video was okay, but I wouldn't use it with that blur. I liked the girl, I liked the framing, I liked the whole scene. But that bothers me. Now, again, easy enough to fix in After Effects, like, so I probably would use that because it's an easy. The masking is very, very easy, but you know, it can definitely be like this one. This would be, that would be hard to fix right there. So I wouldn't use this clip probably. Okay. Oh goodness. Sorry, Lazy Rick. What's up? You missed probably a little bit more of our stock selection and stuff. Sliced, you need sound effects, jingles, and underscore in Adobe Stock. I'm screenshotting that, Sliced, because yes, you do, and I hope we will get that soon. Actually, I've been talking to some of my colleagues on the stock side about how to make that happen. So remember, stock is new. You know, it's only a year old. It's only in the Adobe family, Fotolia, about a year. So we'll get there. We will absolutely get there. Mm-hmm. Nice. Oh, and thank you, CBR. Yep, and as you're mentioning there, too, I should also mention that I'll be doing a playlist as well of all of the audio one-on-ones on my YouTube channel, which, of course, if you follow me here on Twitch, I am Beetlejace on Twitch, please do for more audio, video, motion graphics, and imagery. And there you can find all of my links to YouTube, to my YouTube channel, to Vimeo, to Behance, and of course to Spotify and Apple Music, where you can add my songs to playlists and help feed my children. All right. Which anybody who is a musician and has commercial music available in the streaming world knows that's going to take a long time. Remember how I said Adobe Stock is a volume game? Yeah, music today, streaming, yeah, volume game. I need to put out all these songs that are behind me. So, oh, Gus, I'm sorry I didn't know which song it was. Loving life on a Friday, spending time with all these fine people. I couldn't agree more, CBR. 10 out of 10. I'd make sound effects packs for Adobe Stock. Nice. I'm with you. I mean, you know, and it's so useful, particularly in the video world, right? We're just, it's so necessary, and there's never enough. Yeah. So here, you just saw a very quick, brief view, but, so that is Monica. She's graphic designer, former rocker, and I've got, let's see, Tarja here, and CBR Network there. So all part of this interview process for creative transformation. Okay. All right. So how do you know what stock to shoot? Well, that's interesting. So yeah, Morwen, talking about that at the beginning. So that's just it. You don't, right? But what I recommended doing, and we did this before because like we were looking, I have all this footage for this documentary that I shot in this machine shop. I went to stock, and you know, first thing I did was search for metal drills. All right, just to show you again here in 4K. And you know, I came up there were now it's only showing actually 2 results. Huge opportunity right there. Right? And if I just do metal drills, so this is now 4K and HD. I mean, there's 1,500, but you know, as you kind of look at this stuff again, and some of it's real nice, some of it's quite beautiful, you know. A lot of this has a very similar kind of look, and a lot of it, if not all of it, that I'm seeing here initially, is all pre-graded. So one of the things that I talked about is like if you've got stuff, and I don't know that there's a reason why they wouldn't let you do it, but to submit like this looks ungraded. Though this could be graded or to graded to look flattish, or that because it looks like it's in the snow outside. But you know, if I'm going to grab something like this and try and integrate this, like I'm doing something with lathes or something, I'm trying to integrate this into my footage, it's going to be a little bit harder for me to grade my stuff to match this, you know, whereas if this were flat, it would be easier. So, but I think the best thing is if you've already got a lot of B-roll lying around, and that's how this whole process started, do a search and see what's up there. And the reality is, if you've got it already, there's no reason to not try and monetize it. There's no cost to you to become a stock contributor, and you can get your stuff out there. And the more that you have on there, the more chances you have of attracting potential buyers. And I'll just show the URL again is stock.adobe/contributor, and you know, this is absolutely something any video person on the planet should be looking into doing. Because, like I said, I've got all this B-roll that's been lying around for the better part of 2 years, which, you know, somebody might be looking for some of this stuff. You know, they might be looking for metal shavings or neat push-button thingies. You know, I don't even know why that's so cool. I just think that's a cool shot, you know, with a little focus pulling and stuff, you know. Levers and just metal, you know, these kinds of things. Slow movements. So I think that's it. It's like if you've got stuff lying around, see what's out there, see what you can contribute to it. If there's not a lot, that's a huge opportunity. Even if there is a lot, it doesn't mean that yours isn't as good. So, you know, I'm a big believer in that. Sam Peterson is on his way. I'm always getting out B-roll specific to my projects, but it's almost always campus related. Yeah, I hear that. And hey, again, campus, you just saw like the business stuff. I was talking about this at the beginning, Caitlin. Any kind of like stock, you know, students, and especially at college age, you know, or even high school, but yeah, like students, workplace, that stuff, there can never be enough. It's used all the time. So if you've got well shot, especially, you know, it's one thing if you've got, you know, 1,000 clips shot on your iPhone with its own lens of the quad and stuff, and they might be fine, but they're kind of like, it's an iPhone, so again, you're not going to have the sort of depth of field, you're not going to have as much of a stylistic approach. Maybe those would be less popular, but if you've shot stuff with nice cameras, same scenario. I mean, that stuff gets leveraged all the time. No reason not to start contributing and monetizing today. It's not a sales pitch. I mean, it is, but it's a genuine one because I should be doing it too. Idiot, you know? Just one more way to bring in some of that. You know what I mean? Hey, Sam. So we got 1:30 until Sam is going to take over the stream. Thank you, CBR. And thanks, yes. I really don't think I'd get a job with the fawns on his garage, levers and things. I know, Ian. I'm ashamed. You know, I don't know. I'm an editor, you know, composer, and basically really just a piano player. So, you know, right? Well, thank you so much, Ian. Hey, so passionate, Morwen. Yes, indeed. And truly so, you know. I don't joke about those things, and the passion, I hope, really does come through. So, all right. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for going with me on this journey today with Audio 101 and Adobe Stock. And Caitlin, I don't know if you saw before, but this was, again, I was kind of showing, like, we took an Adobe Stock clip that I found and then integrated it side by side and then regraded one of my own to kind of match it. So this was a match grade here. By using one of the creative LUTs and then tweaking it to make it look like the stock footage because it wasn't shot flat, right? So very easy to achieve. So again, thank you so much. Sam Peterson is up next. Everyone have a great weekend. I will very likely be back on my channel at around 12:45 Pacific time. Check back in a few minutes. If you see my Beetlejace out message, you'll know that I'll be coming back later today. Thank you. Please follow me here on Twitch, Beetlejace on Twitch. Up now is Sam Peterson. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I'll see you next time.